with the long and strong. Man, I hit you with the long and strong, yeah. With the long and strong. Man, I hit you with the long and strong, yeah. I seriously have a problem. What's good? It's your boy BL to the Kizzy. BLK here again with another edition of The Blacklist. No special guest this week, me by myself chatting to you guys, but I got a lot to talk about. But I'm gonna start off where I think everybody is expecting me to start off. The talk of the week, talk of the town, the talk of the world, the talk of everything. 21 Savage being a British citizen. He's under arrest and he's been held on immigration charges with basically the Americans trying to clamp down on his expired visa, which was supposed to have expired in 2006. So he's been held down. Obviously, he's not getting to see his family, not getting to see his kids. So first and foremost, what you do have to say is free 21 Savage. I mean, it's not like we're campaigning for one person because he's a celebrity to be freed. I think just in general, immigration charges are a bit whack, and let's keep it real. His visa expired. He was a young boy. He probably had no idea of what the visa situation was when he was going to America. He probably had no idea of his own visa situation. When he became an adult, he probably just lived under the assumption that he was legally allowed to be in the country. It's really interesting to see how the internet took to that news. It went all over the media sources really quickly. Everybody was on it. Everybody had inside info about it. How do people get their hands on this stuff so quickly? From the time that the news came out to when the memes, the documents, everything started coming out. And I'm not gonna lie, some of the memes were funny, but there's a laughter separation between what's going on in his situation and the fact that somebody's created a funny image online. He's a contributing citizen in America. He's, an artist that I'm sure he's probably gone platinum. So why do we still treat someone like that in the public eye, who's a positive example of somebody who's the American dream, so to speak? If he was as young as they say he was when the visa expired, I don't think he was any the wiser, and I don't think this is premeditated, and I don't think he should feel the full force of the law on him, for something that somebody else has taken part in or signed on his name or done as representation of him. I don't know what the hell I was doing when I traveled when I was like, even up to 12, 13. I was just going on holiday, bro. It was a mad thing. I was just like, yo, it's gonna be lit. I know what a passport is. We go to airport. I know packing clothes and shit. I'm not gonna lie, but I wasn't thinking, do I need visa? When you're a child, you don't know. You don't have a notion of those things. Your guardians take care of it for you. If the records state in 2006 the visa's expired, then that was 2006 and it's 2019 and you're picking up the man now? I don't know. I just feel like free 21 Savage. But if he's from the UK, I mean, it seems like the UK is going to take him back with open arms. It's just like, 21. Well, yeah, drill now. He's drill. Now this is Chris Brown beefing Offset for his publishing of a meme on his personal Instagram account. So Chris Brown took one of these memes of 21 Savage, where it was a video. It was Michael Dapper's voice on 21 Savage's XXL freestyle. Now, to be fair, there's so many people online. There's so many people who had made jokes. It's like, why people always got an issue when somebody who's somewhat famous makes the same joke that a million other people are making? Chris Brown never said, 21, shame, you got locked up for immigration. I'm not rooting for you to get out. He just put a meme out like a lot of other people were doing. This has led to beef because Offset has basically said you shouldn't be doing that, and Offset has gone on to call Chris Brown out on his beef with Rihanna. Chris Brown, prior to that, had actually put out a meme of Offset saying that Offset reminds him of Pootie Tang. Now, if you know who Pootie Tang is, Sadate, that guy is hilarious. I'm not gonna lie. If someone said about Pootie Tang, I'd laugh it off. Where's the sense of humor gone? Like, why is everyone so stiff, jumping on each other, and any little comment turns into beef? It's not beef, man. It's a bit of banter. I used to do that shit online with my friends. Like, just slate them, call them lookalikes. There's a whole album of me because apparently I look like Teddy from Hang Time. I don't look like Teddy from Hang Time. it is what it is. It's just a bit of light-hearted fun. But Offset's taken it, he's cussed him about Rihanna, and then Chris Brown's just gone in with the memes. There's even an Instagram conversation thread where Chris Brown and Offset are talking, and Chris Brown actually quotes his address and tells Offset to pull up. So it's already gone left, it's gone sticky, like they're even talking about beef. But at this point, Offset says, nah, this is police, this is police. I don't know, man. I think we might have to give him an L for that, because I don't know. This police that you're talking, you're by me. That's what it is. You're shook, you don't want to go there. Fair enough. Chris Brown, everyone knows he's gonna throw them hands. But I just don't see the need for them to be beefing over this in the first place. Now, in other news, we have one of the artists who I bigged up on here, and I'm so happy to say, Kida Kuds, he has signed a free project deal with Warner, and I think it's Disturbing London. Now, for me, that signals a triumph, and I think, you know one thing, Disturbing London for me they're smart, because the people who they've backed in this last, I don't know, 12 months, or just in general, the roster of artists that they have working with and under them includes people who I know for facts are gonna be blown. I know for facts are big artists just kind of waiting for that where they just take off. You've got, to note a couple of names now, you've got Kida Kuds on there, you've got A2 that they're working with, you've got D Block Europe who they work with, Young Bane, you know, all of these artists. I know that Tiny Temper and his manager are a big part of Disturbing London, and I think that, you know, in terms of business acumen, what they're showing with the artists that they're signing, it's really exciting. Two of the legends, two of the guys, man, the guys. Currency, Wiz Khalifa, they dropped their mixtape project 2009. Gotten onto it, yes, I don't care, and I've listened to every single track, and honestly, I love it. I'm biased, I don't care, I am biased, but this shit bangs. This shit takes me back to the year that they are talking about so much. For all the old Wiz Khalifa and Currency fans, from all the old mixtapes that they had and all the old mixtapes that they've done, from the How Fly, from, you know, all of that era when they were really on top, they've channeled that into this mixtape. When you think about it, these two guys are actual legends in the game. For my generation, I don't care what anybody's gonna say, in my generation, rapper-wise, Currency and Wiz Khalifa are legendary. They're one of the first legendary duos that was on an album that, you know, I thought was just amazing, and it really dictated like a lot for me at the time. Like, I really connected with it deeper than a lot of other artists. I just think it was the vibe. Here with these young guys releasing tracks, they were basically just smoking, having a good time, and they were very inclusive. They were saying everyone was part of the gang. It wasn't like other genres of rap that were coming out about the time, and you felt, yeah, this is good, but I can't really get with it because I never shot no one, I never did no one. I'm not gonna lie, they're probably 99% responsible for any kind of boom that there was in the smoking of weed in America in the early 2000s, because these guys were about that life, and that was their way of being accessible. So for them two to come back as a duo and to actually be releasing something that's like talked about for a long time now, but I didn't think that it was all of a sudden gonna come, but it's very well worth listening. Tracks to mention, it's Clout Chasing, you know, East Side. They're already taking it back to the type of beats that I love. In general, it's a solid mixtape. Go and take a listen. Really good mixtape, really good project, and really nostalgic. Legends in the game. Currency, Wiz Khalifa, we salute you. Legendary status. Finally, we have the track of the week. Starting off is by Joyce Rice, and it's called Rocket Science. Neo Soul finest. That's what I'm saying. Neo Soul at its finest. Very mellow vibes. She's a great singer. My neighbors probably hate the fact that I like this song and found out about this song because I have been smashing it out my window. The tone she's singing in actually makes people like me who can't sing for shit actually feel like, oh, actually, that man can hit them notes, you know. Right? You know, you're in the shower and you're just singing and then you just bust one note and you're like, oh, that note was great. Second, number 2 is by Nux, Bonkers, and Jevon, and it's called Sleeping in the Studio. These 3 artists are like 3 of those UK artists that not everyone's heard about, but they all have kind of followings, deep followings themselves. I know Bonkers released a track called Rerun the Block in about 2016, which got him like, you know, huge success, kind of radio plays. I think he was like, I'm not sure how or where he charted, but I know that basically it was one of those that you would hear if you went out in a club. But since then, for me, I haven't really heard much from him as an artist. I haven't heard much what he's doing. And going through my SoundCloud kind of weekly dosage, I've stumbled across this track with him and Jevon, and the track bangs. It's got a SWV sample in the background, which is pretty much a great formula for success, but they all ride the beat. It's straight bars, just straight going in. There's no breaks, there's no hooks. It's just straight back to back rapping like it should be, and you've got 3 artists who I fuck with heavily on that. So go check that track out. That's Nux, Jevon, and Bonkers, and it's called Sleeping in the Studio. The final track of the week is coming from the boy Currency himself and the late, great Mac Miller. The tune's called Money Shot. I mean, it's not like the tune takes on extra significance because Mac Miller happens to be passed away now. It's just one of those things where this was just a banger. I was watching an interview with Currency where he actually got into a little bit of deep conversation about the whole incident with Mac Miller and, you know, how he's felt about his passing and how close they were as friends. He mentioned that he can't even perform this song anymore without really getting emotional. It's one of those that it was in my archives. I'd not really listened to it to a long time until I heard that interview, and I heard Currency talking about it, and I thought, you know what, let me go back and give this a listen. And I haven't stopped playing it since for obvious reasons. It's a good track. It's got a very, very good beat, which Mac Miller actually produced himself on the day so that him and Currency could spit to it. But it really just reminds me again, like I was saying earlier about Wiz and Currency, about that era of those type of rappers coming through. You know, Mac Miller's, Wiz, Currency, that whole stoner era. That's Money Shot by Currency and Mac Miller. That concludes the Blacklist for today. I hope you guys have a blessed week. Stay healthy, stay safe, and I'll see you next week.